Hi, I'm Paul Leggett, the owner of Ajax Manufacturing Company. I've also been in the air conditioning business about 45 years, and after doing the job that you're going to see demonstrated here for about 35 years the hard way, I decided to come up with an easier way to do it. So in 2002, we came up with the Ajax A-Coil lifter that we're going to demonstrate to you here today. So in a few moments we're going to pull it out and show it to you, and then we'll show the demonstration one step at a time for you. It comes to you in a box like this. You can see this is an all aluminum construction product, very high quality. It's all aluminum except for the moving parts inside. Some of them are cadmium plated metal. It weighs about 11 pounds. You can see it's light to operate with. It comes as two components. There's one jack in here, one for each side of the furnace. And you can see as we demonstrate how they operate. All right, we'll just take them apart as they were shown here. Pull them apart like this, put the rope in the center part, leave some slack, pull it in front of the furnace, set a jack on either side. Then you raise the jack up to the furnace height by jacking it up to the furnace height. A good way to judge your height is just by letting the lip fit on top of the furnace. That means the height is right to slide under the coil. And then you place the jack about centerways of the coil, one on each side. You jack it up to the coil, then you pry the coil up to where it'll come under, and you pop it under the coil like that. All right, another thing I wanted to point out was the size of the jack. This is 1 inch by 1 inch material here, and this jack is about 1.25 inches wide, so it is narrower than my arm is. So if you can get your arm in beside the furnace, the jack will definitely go in because it's not as wide or thick as your arm is normally. So if your arm can go in there, the jack will go in there. All right, again, on this one, about arm's length, usually works out about right, about centerways is where it needs to be. And then put it under the coil, and you can jack the coil up a little bit then, a couple of inches. Once you get the coil up and it's clear enough, take this cord and you can pull it out on either side. It will lock on either side. So whichever room you've got the most room on, which side is okay, but it'll come on either side. Pull it tight and then wrap it around this washer lock and pull it there, and that locks the jacks onto the coil so you won't accidentally knock them off as you're working. And then you raise the coil up whatever height you need it, and then simply pull the furnace, slide it out, and do whatever task you need to do, whether you're cleaning a coil. As you can see, you removed it where you completely clean a coil from the bottom, or if you're inspecting a heat exchanger, you can pull it out only about 6 or 8 inches you need and inspect the heat exchanger with a flashlight. Then when you get through and you're ready to put everything back, just simply slide it back under the deal. Okay, now your furnace is back under the coil and you're ready to drop it down. First thing you remember to do is take the rope, safety rope loose, and pull it back out in front of the furnace. And then place the handle in the neutral position. And neutral means halfway between jacking. That's jacking position right there. You're engaging the lift dog, and this is braking. So halfway between that is neutral. And when you do that, then all you have to do is just bump this up, and it'll come down. And it'll come down there. A lot of times when you're reaching in here, you're tempted to grab this handle and then squeeze this release. And when you do that, you will engage the jacking mechanism so that it won't move downward. So you need to be sure to have it in neutral and just bump this with a wrench or your hand or whatever, and it'll just drop down a little at a time. Then you can remove the jack from the deal and take it out. All right, I want to explain some of the features on the jack so you'll understand the whole operation. And one thing I want to do is tell you this will remove the furnace that is up to 60 inches tall. There's an extension down here on the side that's mounted on the jack. I'm going to remove it. This is an 8-inch extension that goes here where the top lifting deal is. It comes out, take the pin out, pull this off, and then you put this on and put the top lifter back on the top of that. This pin secures it onto the bar. And this pin holds the lifter back in place. And now, if you pull this up, you can see how tall it will lift a furnace up to 60 inches tall, which there's some maybe still be out there. Most of them are not, but if you did, you've got that. But you've got an 8-inch extension on each jack to raise up for any furnace you need to lift. Okay, another feature on it, the extra height. If you need a furnace a little bit taller, we get 4 inches right here by moving this pin up to this hole here. It gives you an additional 4 inches that you can use. And then if that's not enough, you need more, then you've got the 8-inch extension down here to put on top of that. So you've got an extra foot in height. Okay, the jack lifts about a half an inch, a little less each time you stroke it. And it goes up. Now you want to raise it up quick, you can simply just pull up the top and get it to where you want it. But it jacks about a half inch at a stroke. Okay, another feature that I want to point out to you is a situation that you probably will run into, and that is one where you don't have room to get a jack on either one side or the other. So if you run into that, if you can get these, either one of these, either side, just one will lift the coil up by itself. So you don't have to have two on it. But if you can't get it on one side, just go ahead and put it on the one side and raise the coil up, and it'll hold it until you get the furnace out and put your other one on the other side and safely secure it to the deal. I want to thank you for your interest in the Ajax today. If you have any questions regarding any of the operations, feel free to call me and we'll be glad to help you out any way we can. Again, thanks for your interest today.